have the Dynasty. What is it? No, what is this? It's Spoiler Kings. What I'm talking about. Monday we have Spoiler Kings, and they're actually I think they're going to do. What's the movie that's coming out this weekend?
Yeah, it comes out on Thursday. What
is it? Paw Patrol?
Venom's coming out Thursday.
Venom.
I
yeah.
have Thursday coming to do that. Can't wait to see it. I'm gonna probably be watching Addams Family because I have little kids. But I will be thinking about Venom while I'm watching Addams Family. So yeah.
So Martin and Mark, how you guys doing, man?
Doing all right.
One question I got for you.
Wow, you guys in sync.
Before we get out of here, who's your IDP standout from week 3?
Standout?
Like, Myles Garrett.
Come on, man.
Besides, damn it, I set myself up for that one.
I wasn't gonna do the transition show because I know, like, Myles Garrett was the number 1 IDP this week. He's literally on my thumbnail chasing Justin Fields. Like, literally. Like, you look at my thumbnail, it's Myles Garrett about to hit Justin Fields.
That's funny.
As a matter of fact, I actually have his stats, which I sent to the group earlier. I'll show.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
that's funny.
Besides him, you bastard. Oh my God, that hurt so much more. Did you not just see it spend an hour in therapy just now?
I did.
You just came back.
I did. I let you
trauma?
speak. I didn't try to interrupt anything up until you started saying about Myles Garrett.
You're right, Josh.
Or not Myles Garrett,
it was
but
too soon.
Adam Gase. That's when I mentioned because you were talking about Nagy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, listen to these guys. They got some good info coming up too. Waiver wire IDP stuff. How did you make any bets this week, Martin?
I did. I put Packers. Man, I was biting my nails. I put Packers.
Don't we have a spike bet this week? Don't we have a spike bet this week for Aaron Rodgers versus Aaron Rodgers versus
I think I did.
Jones?
It involved everybody. It was Daniel Jones and somebody else. It involved everybody.
But this show specifically say Aaron Rodgers is going to do better, right? We were right. We were right.
Yeah, that's what it said. Aaron Rodgers.
I think it was better. Aaron Rodgers and Jones.
Daniel Jones, and we got Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
how's How's that fantasy going, Martin? How's that sleeping league going?
Hey. We don't get them angry. Right now, look, you don't want to wake the sleeping giant. Just let him sleep. Just let him sleep.
But to answer your question earlier, I say Eldon Roberts, the linebacker out of Miami. He was probably number 2 under Myles Garrett. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was all over them Raiders.
Yeah, that's a good one, guys.
All right, Michael Parsons was a man yesterday.
He is, and he's gonna be for a long time. He's gonna be.
Yeah,
for a
he
long
is.
time.
I agree. But I don't think he was like top 10.
No, he wasn't. But he's gonna be. In real life, he's going to be a great player for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
Can you give some Bears love at all? Just a little bit?
No, not today.
They didn't deserve it.
I got nothing. I can't join this therapy session. Like I just can't. I really can't because we're right now the IDP world right now. We're so hyped up on Myles Garrett, and if you had Myles Garrett, you pretty much basically won the week because.
We had 6 sacks too. Good Lord.
I'm just saying, as IDP.
Like, hey.
Look, not this week. Last week I did, but not this week.
All right. I just want to point out something. Each guy, Mark and Martin, are representing their home teams, and those 2 teams are actually going against each other this week. So I'm just wondering. Yeah, Washington and Atlanta. I'm just wondering if there's going to be any spike backs with you guys or any kind of.
No, probably not. You know what's funny is I pointed this out last week that I've been playing with Mark for so many years that our dynasty lineups have 11 guys that are co-in sync with each other. I either have his running back to his QB, or I have the QB to his receivers, or on defense they play right by each other, like Cameron Curl and Landon Collins, or he has a linebacker that goes to my defensive end or something. It's so weird. I'm like, bro, I looked at everybody in the league, and you and I were the only ones who had the most players matched up. And I'm like, it just shows that what our entire fantasy league for the past decade that we've been in, that we always meet in the playoffs, and it makes perfect sense. He's like, that is the craziest, oddest, strangest thing.
Who won last time in the playoffs?
I did.
He did.
Another L.
Derek Carr had a groin injury first quarter, and I was done. So
Another L for Martin.
Hey, real quick before we leave, he answered one question, and then we're gonna drop out. Just one real quick.
What's up, fellas? I have a question.
I don't think people who's listening have Braille on their phone. So
I have Hunt and Chubb as my RB1 and 2. Y'all think this will work for the whole season? No.
And it's 12 man, you have Hunt and Chubb? Well,
no, it's not going to work.
It's almost they're on the same Cleveland team.
Oh.
It's you know what? A better question to that, should Chubb owners be concerned that Kareem Hunt got more work?
Maybe.
I mean, if you could trade Chubb, trade him.
It's too early to say talking about.
I would wait till bye week.
I think you trade Chubb. You think you trade Kareem Hunt.
Edgar, I would wait till bye weeks because somebody somewhere is going to get hurt on injuries and bye weeks, and one of those guys you can sell high. Wait for the bye weeks. I guarantee you. Tough it out.
You know what? This is time for research right now. Who's struggling at running back right now? Hey man, I got that gas, man. I got that gas right here. You know,
that's the thing you need.
Right. But yeah, so like I said, make sure you subscribe to both of our channels. Tune in to these guys on Wednesdays and Sundays and Tuesdays and whatever they're doing all the days. Only the only members of the Nerd Huddle that don't have kids.
Hey, but look, I think though, if you're watching now, and I know these guys are about to sign off, but IDP, if you're not familiar with it, switch over. The description below, that's our channel. That's basically individual defensive players. So if you want to know what IDP is, I'm telling you, it changes your fantasy world of football like completely. It really is.
But Dynasty IDP is crazy. You guys are crazy.
And some people don't even know what Dynasty is, but we're doing both. It is nuts. Gosh. It is fun though. It is very fun.
Yeah, it's fun if you got the time to do it.
It's like Madden in real life though.
If you got 1.5 children or more, nope.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Have a good one. Have a good show, guys.
I'll be watching.
All right. Thank you.
See you guys.
All right, later. All right. So let's see here. Where's our producer? Hey, producer, where's that? Change that background for us, man. I'm struggling here. Come on, man. All right. So, anyways, that was Panda and Grizzly. We are now switching over to the IDP show, which is Dynasty Pylon. I can't even talk today right now. So, but let's hit that intro real quick. Get it official. Let's start the show of IDP Dynasty Pylon. What's up? We're back again. I know you just got them watching us, but we're here tonight doing IDP waivers. We are going to get down on the top 5 as I did the last couple weeks. Top 5 D linemen, top 5 LBs, and top 5 DBs. First of all, look, our fellow guys at out there in Chicago. I'm sorry, Myles Garrett ran all over them. So did Jadeveon Clowney. And which is crazy, Jadeveon Clowney has been like a ghost the last season or two, and all of a sudden, he finds the right team, he finds the right DN to be on the opposite side of, and here we are. So it was really good to see him actually be productive again. So yeah, it's crazy. Oh, hey, we didn't even put this up on the last show.
I know.
Hopefully he switched over. But I think Matt Ryan gets sacked 5 times. What do you think on that? I don't know. Maybe Chase Young hasn't been his first round draft pick like they've been. I don't know. Montez Sweat might get him. But 5 times? No, I don't think 5 times. No way. I'll give you 3 or 2.
I think Jonathan Allen might get one. That's about it. He's the only one who's being really productive on the line. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's because there's so many pieces there that you can't protect them all. And I think everyone's going after Young. They're double teaming Young. They're double teaming Montez Sweat. And guess what? He's going right up the middle and getting his money worth. So, so I don't know if you saw, but Myles Garrett was the number 1. So I made like a little. So if you're watching, if you switched over, I hope you did. But this is what IDP is about, and I'll bring it later in the show for those who are bringing it. But for us, our Myles Garrett in our scoring system, a solo tackle was worth 1, which was 6. A tackle for loss was 1.5, or 1.25, which is equal to 5, and assist tackles half. And we do sack yards, and that's where the money's at. So a lot of leagues, they do 6 points a sack, but they don't do yards. This is where that makes up. I mean, it's fun when you see your guy get a 20-yard sack or worth 10 yards. It adds up. This week, our number 1 IDP was Myles Garrett. I was gonna do this last week for Edwards and Roquan Smith, and then Chandler Jones. But we brought up Chandler Jones week 1. We just didn't have like a little overlay, so I apologize for that. But I will try and do that from now on if I have time. But so how do you feel about this week's waivers offensively, real quick, before we dive into IDP?
Offensively, I think Taylor Heineke's trending up.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
especially if you're in a 12-man league like we are, quarterbacks are hard to come by. Like I said, I picked him up last week, so
right.
And then, like he said, Chuba Hubbard.
Everyone's going after Chuba Hubbard right now because the McCaffrey thing.
It's the it running back of the week.
yeah. There's one, but what I was going to mention. They were mentioning Sermon. Sermon, I know. Look, I don't feel comfortable having Sermon for a while. I think that Sermon's only going to be a short time thing before Hasty comes back, and then you get Mitchell back. I think that they're going to push him back to the rear. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be worth like anything that you stash for. I mean, that's just me. That's my opinion. But I don't. How do you feel about Sermon? Like, would you pick him up? Like, if you had running backs, like your running back.
If I had running backs,
you had only 2 though, and you needed maybe another one, but not really necessarily of importance.
I mean, I watched that game. He did get a touchdown, but he didn't really do much.
Right, but how many? It wasn't that many carries, was it?
No, he was still splitting with the other guy, I think.
Yeah, I'm still not high on Sermon. I think that maybe he needs a little bit more work under the line for about a year, and then maybe he'll come out and progress. But as of now, I just don't. Shanahan's too. We all thought it was going to be this year, but Shanahan is just crazy. I mean, I'm happy that Ayuk, if you're watching this, Ayuk, I said this earlier. Don't worry about Ayuk. I know Ayuk will eventually come about and become a thing again. And sure enough, I think he has like 12 receptions. He got a touchdown and a good handful of yards. So glad to see him back. We're gonna probably see him more in our lineups. Maybe bench him next week, but I don't know. Maybe unless you really need receivers. So
receiver though, what do you think of Emmanuel Sanders? He went off.
I'm impressed for being 34, dude. Like, he's an old man compared to like these young. It's a young man's game, So
they got 2 old receivers over there in Buffalo.
Yeah, but I mean, not as. But I was impressed. He got 6 receptions and he made those 6 turn into something great with 94 yards and a touchdown.
Two I think he hit 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he had like 24 points. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Kudos to all Josh Allen over there. So, and Kittle was landing rusher in the first half for SF. That's how bad Sermon was. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. Wasn't good.
Yeah. But I mean, they kind of did involve him a little bit more. So it's kind of see that resurrection of Kittle a little bit. So,
I know. I was happy to see that.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see that the 49ers are using guys that were more fantasy relevant. I know Shanahan's doing his thing. I mean, they're not maybe he tried to do something new and then it's not working. He's going back to the old ways. I'm not too sure. But Shanahan always does the shenanigans over there, so we don't know. But as of now, are you picking up Dalton Schultz or anything like that as tight end? Think he's worthy enough?
I don't know. He had a really good game Monday yesterday.
Over Blake Jarwin?
Yeah. I like Dawson Knox personally.
Yeah.
He finally showed up a bit against Washington.
Well, he got a touchdown last week, so it wasn't too bad. I was thinking about getting him, but I like the way the tight end works is one guy can get 2 touchdowns and he's automatically the number 1 of the week. So yeah. I felt okay with Tyler Higbee. I was like, I don't really. There's no point of having another. I don't know. For me, I felt like I'm good with the 1. I don't need another one, and then I'm going to be in that decision on who do I start for the week. So I don't know. Yeah. And Tyler Higbee getting a touchdown this week and last week, so he's doing all right.
Excuse me.
No, you're good.
What do you think of Conklin, Minnesota? He had a big game.
I think he's worth picking up.
I do too.
I mean, if you got someone like Cole Kmet or someone, maybe get him. If you got someone who wasn't really doing much, well, I can't really say Cleveland because they're using all of them. I don't think Dosai Case Williams is going to do much. Max Williams over in Arizona, where was he this week? So last week.
Yeah, he had one game. I don't think even Braden was like he shows up one game a year.
Yeah,
or Arizona uses the tight end one game a year.
I would feel more comfortable with Tyler Conklin over Dos Equis Williams over there in Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
But right now, I wouldn't get him over like anyone like Noah Fant or anything, even though Noah Fant's not really doing a lot of what we probably drafted him for. But I'm definitely, I would wait. I don't think Conklin. I mean, you could probably pick him up and then see how Fant does for the next couple of seasons. I'm thinking Dynasty here, as we should be. But the next couple of weeks. But I just don't think that because this happens. Like Cousins does this. He utilizes all his weapons, and then he'll go hot and heavy for his tight end for a little bit, and then they disappear for a couple of weeks straight. And that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, Cousins is a very streaky quarterback, so
he is, and this is why he's kind of like the prime meridian, as we say here at the Nerd Huddle Network. But that's what he is. So, anyways, other than that, I'm actually excited for Tommy Tremble. I was talking about him throughout the offseason. I don't know if you remember me saying that. Tommy Tremble actually got himself involved. So that was actually kind of interesting to see. Hopefully he emerges something within the next couple seasons. I will say that. I think it's too early for Tommy Tremble to actually emerge. Maybe because McCaffrey's out, they had to utilize him, but he's a fun player to watch. Watch him in his college. They utilize him everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina does the same thing with him. So that's about what I have.
You know, Darnold is still considered waiver wire player. Crazy.
Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. In a lot of leagues, he still is.
He's the number one QB for the waiver wire this week. I was like, number one waiver wire. He's been my starting quarterback for the start of the season.
Hey, well, you were kind of forced to, and But we weren't actually too like down on him. You and I believed him since the get-go. So
I drafted him last year.
Yeah, no, and
when he's with the Jets.
But this is like we're so small, nobody knows anything about what we got. Nobody knows us. So we've been saying, like, you know what's crazy? We've been saying a lot of things in the offseason that has actually been coming true. Like a lot of it. Like a lot of these rookies, like Najee Harris right now, a prime example. We said, be careful with him. And yes, he's getting the workload. But the problem is with that, he's getting too much of the workload, and how much of that is going to affect him, and how much is he going to be worthwhile later in Dynasty? We said this. He wouldn't do anything magnificent this year.
He's going to get burnt out.
Yeah, he's not going to do anything magnificent this year, and you even said it. He might get break off for a 50-yarder or something like that every now and then. But they're utilizing him every single time I saw that game. It was Big Ben to Najee, Big Ben to Najee. Every now and then he would throw to other receivers, but it was always Big Ben to Najee, and Big Ben's done. I hate to say it, but I think he's done. It looks like his arm strength is that line sucks. We know that. We said this at the beginning. That line sucked. I don't know why everyone, like, I know their defense is great, but their line sucked. And we said this way before the season started, way before even preseason. We said this. The line sucked. Be worried about Najee Harris because he probably won't be productive. And we've said this. But, you know, hey.
Yep.
For those 2 people that watch us, you probably already knew.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Den Boys.
Michael Carter, New York.
Yeah, Michael Carter. Okay. Almost had me worried there. We had him hyped up, and then they're actually putting a little bit more work into him now. So had me a little worried there. I thought he was going to be benched. We weren't going to see him, but
yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster because coming out there like, oh, he's the RB1. I was like, hey, and then like 1 week in, he's like, I was like, oh, what happened?
Yeah. So, but it looks like they're giving him more touches. Yeah. So good for him. But
you're welcome. Nice.
Well, anyways, let's get Den Boys with his IDP. I know that's probably why he's here. Anyways, so. Let's start with the big boys, as we always do. Let's give them the first crack because I know everyone wants to do linebackers, so let's do DLs first. So I said this last week, and I did it the week before that. Pick up Javon Hargrave out of Philadelphia, and he did pretty good. He got 2 sacks. As a matter of fact, the reason that Fletcher Cox was the only reason he got that safety touchdown was because of him. He was the one who knocked it out. And then
Amabad is back.
He got all. What's up?
I said Amabad is back.
Hey, what's up, dude? So I said this before, man. Oh, hey, I am bot. Let me throw up this Myles Garrett for you real quick. I know last week a couple weeks ago we were showing you the Miles or the Chandler Jones try to show you on that, but this was our main guy this week was Myles Garrett, number 1 obviously for the sack. So if you look at that real quick, that is what IDP is. I know IamBot had questions about it. So that's basically the underline. I know different leagues do different things. I know some leagues they do 2 points for solo tackles and 3 points for tackles for loss. We like to keep it simple. We feel like it's more the running back era of like if they do pretty good, like level, like you could trade up straight up for maybe a receiver RB, but some leagues they have IDP scoring skyrocket, and it's basically becomes strictly IDP where you drafting IDP guys more over than your offense. I like to balance it. I feel like this is balanced. Me and Mark talked about this. We felt like this is probably the better way to do it. But I mean, again, it's your league. You guys can bash on the way I have my points set up. It's fine. It's cool. Like, you're in your league. I'm in mine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's crazy because it looks like, oh my God, look, he's getting 25 points. But I mean, considering only 2 linebackers / defensive linemen have cracked that.
Yeah, but for a defensive lineman, this is phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because in IDP, or sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a quarterback will get 30 points on an okay day, whereas it takes a defensive end, like their greatest game ever almost, to get to that 30-point, echelon. So that's why, right now, it might seem a lot, but
it's a comparison to the tight end. The DL is like the tight end.
Yeah.
Where the linebackers are more like the QB kind of thing. And so it's the DBs are like the receivers. So let's get this out of here. There you go. The same fucking that guy, man. Anyways, so I went 2-2 in my
league. I went 2-2 as well.
I can't break this 2-2 curse, man. Every week. But I mean it happens, dude. I'm assuming you did pretty good in your last two. So what are you 2-1 now? So
I think so.
From what it sounds like. All right, so let me get back into DLs. I just wanted to show him real quick. I know he had questions the last couple weeks about
Robert Quinn. Scoring. That's the guy I had on my list. All right,
cool. So, but look, I mentioned freaking Hargrave last time, and if you picked him up, well, you got yourself a forced fumble, 2 QB hits, 2 sacks, tackle for loss, 2 assists, and 5 solos. So again, he's there, and I keep pushing this. If they're there more than 50% of the snaps, they're gonna bound at least a hit at some point. And Hargrave was definitely one of those guys. Robert Quinn out of Chicago, 63 snaps, 78% of the time. One solo, 1 assist, 1 tackle for loss, and a half of a sack and 2 QB hits. The reason why he made my list, I mean, I felt like he's emerging. I know, what was the reason you had him on yours?
Robert Quinn?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just each week he's been getting better. It's almost getting back to the form where he used to be when he was like the all-pro, defensive end that he used to be.
Right.
And then I was doing research and I noticed he wasn't picked up in a lot of leagues. So I was like,
his snap percentage is rising, so that's what I kind of like. So for sure, I want to definitely want to pick up those guys. 78% of the time, you're pretty much there the entire time. So I'm in 2 IDP leagues, and their scoring is a bit higher. Garrett had 34 points in one and 45 in another. Yeah, and that's some IDP leagues. That's the way they are. But I mean, see, these guys probably overtop the QBs in that league. See, I don't like that, but that's just how I feel. But it is what it is. Your leagues have different ways. For me, I feel like a good definite game is for sure double digits for these guys. I mean, it beats having a single defense in most leagues where you just have the whole defense and they score you 9, 12 points, 15.
Right.
I don't know. So we're here.
Or if they do really good, you get 20 points.
Yeah. So if you have multiple starting positions on the defensive side, it kind of adds up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 33 points or 45 points, that's high for me. But I mean, hey, if it's just an IDP league, then all for it. Then that's what's up, And so I did mention Jadeveon Clowney, and I think it had to do with a lot of that with that line. I'm sure Myles Garrett had a lot to do with this, helping him out. You have 2 pressures from both sides. Of course you're gonna definitely get 2 solos and assists and 2 tackles for loss and two sacks and 5 hits on QBs, and 3 of those could have been sacks. So I mean it's pretty clear that they're definitely using Clowney there. He's only 7% rostered, which is a little kind of crazy to me to say 7% is in a smaller IDP / offense. I think that's a little not too low, but a little bit higher on the mid, a little lower than mid. So Darrell Taylor as my 4th guy out of Seattle, just barely making under 50 snaps, but he is making it. He's getting himself in there. So 4 solos, and 1 assist with 2 tackles for loss. And that's kind of like what you want right there. And a sack for sure. And I think this is why I have him, because the forced fumble helped him and definitely put him up in points. So I think this is probably why he's in most waiver wires to grab. At least it's not like you're looking for a running back and you're looking for like 1 or 2 guys. At least you have options. So and Romeo Okwara, don't be confused. If you're looking for someone, don't get his brother. I mean, his brother's okay, but Romeo's definitely the guy to look for. They both play on Detroit, so watch out for that. He's there the entire game, like 100% of the time. 3 solos, assist, 2 tackles a tackle for loss, a sack, and I mean, it's Detroit, so if you're struggling on DL, that for sure. But definitely get Hargrave. I was hoping Hargrave would have had the touchdown, but of course Fletcher Cox had to steal his thunder. I mean, like I said, Hargrave is the guy. Fletcher Cox he's been there a while. He's a Pro Bowler and good for him. But I think Hargrave, in my opinion, is better. I mean, like I said before, had Hargrave not hit that ball out, Fletcher Cox would have never had that touchdown. So that's how I feel about it. I think Hargrave is a lot better. They're using him. He's getting a lot more done. That's just me. Are we missing on comments here? Yeah, where are you at, man? So, you got it.
I was trying to.
No. All right, Mark. Go ahead. Click on it. Jesus. Quinn irritates me. Every time I start him, he sucks. And when he's on my bench, he blows up.
Oh, dude, I hate players like that.
I hate that, man. That was me my first 2 weeks in my Dynasty league. One quarterback did good, and then I'm like, oh, man. So I swapped out the other QB, and he did good. And I was like, dude, come on. Like, I hate that, dude. I really do hate that. Sometimes you kind of look at it and just leave them there. But who's your other DL? If Quinn is your one guy, I'm curious on who your other DL is, or others if you have 2 or multiple.
Husgrave. No, I'm just kidding.
What's up?
I said Husgrave.
So we have Mac. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. He got hurt. So I actually didn't look at the news. How long is he out, or what kind of injury it was? I know he was hurt, and then he basically flopped on everyone's rosters because he didn't really do much. Because was it early in the game or something like that? Let's see here. I have. Oh, he actually did pretty good. Okay, well, never mind.
He returned for the second half.
Oh, did he? Okay, well,
yeah.
Just his foot. He'll be all right. They'll probably give him like a red jersey this week or something.
Just a foot.
Yeah, it's just a flesh one.
He's got another one.
Yeah. Look at Wentz. All right, so that was our DLs. Let me get this out of the way. Oh, you got it.
All right, I'm gonna stop touching.
Look, I'm gonna give you comments. All right, you handle comments.
That's what I was trying to do.
Well, you were slow.
I missed one.
All right, so let's go to the DBs. Let me blow up my screen here so I can see
Switching
better.
to DBs, not linebackers.
Yes. No, DB linebackers are the best. We leave them for
the best.
Okay. Leave them last. Did that last week. Brandon Jones, out of Miami, 43%. Now I know I say 50% is better, but I mean if you guys pay attention, like maybe the workload's increasing. I know that eventually some of these guys, once they start putting bigger plays, and what I liked about Brandon Jones is because they're putting him in the box. I love DBs that they put in the box. Why? Because this guy got himself 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 QB hits. So, Mark, you taking notes down there?
Well, I was just noticing that the guy I had is your second guy.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know if you're taking notes and taking my cheat sheet and then probably putting a waiver claim in for tonight, as Braden does. I feel like Braden watches our show and then I noticed that some of the claims he puts in there. Something.
You think that's also why he drafted Michael Carter with this first round pick?
I don't know. I mean, but it's not like we're giving up crap. We're not big enough. I mean, we know our stuff. We're just, I don't know. I feel like we know our stuff. I'm not saying I'm an expert.
Then boys is making fun of us now.
I'll put that. I'm the only person on the I mean, hey, whatever, them boys. So Marcus May put himself. He's definitely there. He was first waiver last year, and he did a pretty good job. So I'm glad to see him back into our waiver wires again. We're always like kind of eerie about the Jets, but there's always a stud on the duds, and I've said that before. Look for the stud on the duds because they make all the plays. Marcus May is that guy. He's in that safety. Ever since Adams left, he has been the guy. So 7 solos, two assists. It's I mean he's just the Jets, so I'm sure it was a little difficult for him, but as a safety, that's all right, not too bad. And then my third guy is Andrew Wingard out of Jacksonville. Again, another guy who's out there 100%. 4 solos, 3 assists, 1 pass deflection, interception. Did you see that game? Did you see the kick return that the Cardinals decided to give away?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
68-yard field goal attempt. Crazy.
Well, yeah. We won't talk about that. It was all over. It's pretty much, had that kick not happened, we would have been talking about that 100 kick return. But the kick happened, so.
I'm saying they were going for a 68-yard field goal attempt.
Oh yeah.
They returned it back.
Well, I don't know why they would even attempt such a thing. 68 yards, like, what? No.
Maybe if you're in Denver when he did make the longest field goal before Tucker broke it.
I don't even think he would have made that. I mean, like downhill with the wind, I don't think he would have made that. Like 60.
Well, in Denver, the ball would have traveled further because it's higher altitude. Less air resistance. Yeah, a little less air resistance.
So I have my fourth guy. I have is Nazir Adderley. 7 solos, 2 assists. But he's out there, man.
Tank's laughing at us.
Yeah. But he's out there. Like I said, you want to get these guys that are 100%, that are out there for sure because they will land. So my fifth guy is a combination of all of them. I just threw my guy out there, just cause why not? But Landon Collins, Cameron Curl, Bobby McCain, they're all just seems like they're rotating. And I think we mentioned this week 1. Will we see all 3 of them rotate? And we're like, yeah, probably, maybe. And I looked at their percentage, and it looked like they're all pretty even now. It looks like they're working some system where all 3 safeties are just kind of like getting in the box, going deep. But I just threw up Collins. Don't sleep on Curl if he's not on your roster. Get him, or Collins. These guys are there. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Chase Young.
Yeah,
but these
you look
guys
at the possession times; they're on the field for like 90% of the game, so they can rack up them points.
Those 3 guys are backing up the line. So Washington's defense needs to wake up. And I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. Like what is going on? But yeah, 5 solos, 3 assists, and a tackle for loss. I mean, I like that because I like safeties that go in the box. So give them a little LB time. Maybe get a sack if they're lucky. I've been missed out on some sacks that I had were from Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin almost had one against Houston, but they play him in the box, and that's what you want. Like, I love guys that go in the box. Let's see here. So you are getting the comments. Okay. So let me throw up the linebackers here. So.
Yeah, I like them in the box. That means they'll get tackles too. They're not going to just get Travis Henry. God dang it. Derrick Henry stiff armed off like he does with Josh Norman.
Travis Henry. I haven't heard that one in a while.
I hate my life.
Travis. All right, so I think it was like last month. This guy was talking about Derrick Henry, and then Travis Kelce, and
I just combined them into one person.
He combined them both, and we made ourselves a Travis Henry. And we said that he would probably be the most elite player in the NFL.
Hands like Kelce, but can run like Henry.
And Henry's body meshed with the catching ability and the trucking ability. They're both big guys. That would be like a Madden character, 99 overall.
That's a throwback now.
Oh man, we're gonna have to like create Travis Henry now. Just throw him in the corner or something now. Sophomore slump, big time for Chase. Yeah, maybe. I'm still not. Look, it's week 3. I have a system about guys who suck. I keep them for a while. I mean, not for a while. I should cut that short, but there's a certain amount of time, and if they reach that time, I don't usually typically just drop them like normally everyone would. So I have
agrees with us.
Yes, 100%, man. That would be one hell of a player. Travis Henry. Let's get that going. Let's make that. We'll get a mold or something. I'll go into my editing and I'll make it.
Okay.
But anyways, let's get into the LBs. I was hoping Mike would be here today from the Get Right Fantasy Network over there because my Falcons pulled a miracle and beat the Giants. And we were actually talking about one of the guys that I'm bringing up was Kenny Young. We were actually talking all Sunday. And he's in a weird IDP league. He's got like 2 IDP starters or something like that. And so they not only have a defense, but 2 IDP starters. And it's one DB and 1 DL or one IDP flex. It's really interesting. I'm like, and you never talk to them about upping it or anything. He goes, I've tried. They don't even want to switch over to Sleeper. They're on Yahoo or something like that.
Ooh.
Doing IDP, yeah. I'm like, whoa. Well, I mean, that sucks. I guess he's been in the league forever, but shout out to Mike. So wherever you're at, man, hopefully you watch this eventually because I definitely would want you to see what I had for my waivers. But number 1, Logan Wilson. I actually have him favorited, but I have too many good linebackers, so I'm letting someone else pick him up. But 81%, 6 solos, 81% of the snaps. So he's there. He's the guy. He's got the keys to the truck, man. So he is the guy. He's only a sophomore. So in dynasty leagues, grab him. I mean, he's gonna be like he's another stud on the duds.
I almost brought him up. You let 2 and 1.
What?
2 and 1, 1 and 2.
What are you talking about? 2 and 1, 1 and 2.
You said he's a stud on the dud, but I don't think the Bengals are a dud.
Defensive? I mean, there's a few duds, but I mean, as a group, man, I think he's the stud.
Oh, he is. I almost mentioned him last week when we were talking about waivers.
Yeah, well, you could have. I mean, I like him. I've liked him when he got drafted. 6 solos, 8 assists, 2 pass defenders, and 2 interceptions. He's got like 5 interceptions already. So
Dang.
and he's only played like less than 3 games already. So and it's kind of interesting to see how well he's doing there.
2 picks a game. That's not bad.
Yeah. So he had last one week, and week 1 I don't think he had one, but he did pretty good. I mean, Logan Wilson, for me, if I didn't have Micah Parsons or freaking Bobby Wagner or even Visual, I probably wouldn't have it. I'm so happy that your Falcons beat New York Giants. Definitely rub it in on Mike a lot. I was hoping he would be here because week 1 we had a Mike. We were talking. I think it was actually you, Den Boys, who asked between me and Mike who would win our games, and we both picked Falcons, and Falcons they sucked, and the Giants actually won. I think it was like week 1, or preseason. I can't remember. We were both wrong, but we need to get another keep trade cut here soon and bring Mike in because it seems like every single time we do a keep trade cut, Mike is always there on those episodes.
Yeah.
So here's the guy that me and Mike were talking about for a good couple hours. He's trying to drop White out of Tampa Bay.
What?
He hasn't done anything, man. But and for me in our league, I would say no. But
for
in
Kenley
his
Young,
league, what?
For Kenley Young?
For Kenny Young, yeah. But here's the thing, though. He only has 2 IDP starters.
Oh.
That's his issue. And I'm like, well, that really sucks, guy, because like you could definitely stash White, because I know it. Like last year, he did amazing, and he will bust out, but he hasn't really done anything for him. He's been underperforming. He's getting him like 5 points. And Kenny Young's been overall all over the place there in the Rams defense. So I'm like, look, I like White, and under your circumstances that you only have 2 IDP starters, it kind of sucks. Yeah, maybe go with Kenny Young. Maybe someone else won't pick up White. But he drafted White, and it's kind of sucks. I think he probably drafted him pretty high, maybe, from the sounds of it. But anyways, 8 solos, 2 assists, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and QB hit and a forced fumble. So definitely, he's a fun player to watch. Really, he is. So 73 snaps. So they're on defense a lot, man. But then not as much as Las Vegas, apparently. They got 76 snaps. But Denzel Perryman, he's out there 92%. He's got 10 solo tacks and 4 assists. So either he's just kind of just everywhere, or just happened to be in the right spot, or they just kept running his way. But 10 solos is impressive, considering for 10 of those aren't even like 4 assists. So definitely he was involved in 14 of those plays of the 76. So it's a good chunk there for Denzel Perryman out of Las Vegas. Here's another guy kind of keep an eye on. Bobby Okereke, 100% of snaps. He definitely was. He was there last year, but just kind of like wasn't as impressive. He was still getting those snaps. So 6 solos, 2 assists, a tackle for loss, a sack, and a hit on the QB. So definitely you want these guys that hit the QB. That means they're rushing them, they're blitzing them, there's plays for them, or like they're just good. So that's kind of something I kind of pay attention to. And then my last guy here, the New York Giants, and the only reason I threw this guy in there, so we now officially lost Blake Martinez, I think, for the season.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Well, my dad's watching. Take notes.
Yeah, if he's watching, but I know he's not. If he did, I think his team would be a lot better. So if this is the one episode he's watching, where are you gonna put that toilet, guy? Where I asked him earlier, he didn't respond.
No.
I'm still waiting for the question. He's 0-3 now.
I'll find
a spot. Well, I hope it's not in your room or anywhere or in your house or whatnot. So we'll see about that. But Tate Crowder has definitely taken over that spot. But be careful. We see this time and time again. Guys get injured, next man up in game. So next week when they have practice time, they reconfigure their defense or their offenses, and then everyone spent their fab or their waiver. They just burned a waiver on him, and that guy didn't do anything. So Tate Crowder definitely is one of the guys I'm looking at, but he got 4 solos, 7 assists, and a pass deflection in Blake Martinez's absence. So maybe keep an eye on him, maybe stash him, and then if he does better next week, for sure. But he's one of those guys you might want to who might produce this season because Blake Martinez is gone, and this is how careers start. A star player goes down, and then the next one guy up, and then they realize how good he is, and next thing you know, we might see Crowder and Martinez right next to each other next season. So, but yeah, that's definitely my 5 linebackers that I have. Real quick, out of IDP. Is there anybody that you think that kind of want to mention or think that we should probably kind of throw out there?
You had the two guys that I was thinking of. So
okay, well, I'm glad I'm doing a decent job.
Last week it was easier. I had guys you didn't have on the list, but not this week.
Yeah,
because it's probably getting harder and harder to find guys as
everyone's
the weeks go on. Yeah, that's what
the thing is, I'm telling them here, like they're here.
Nick Vigil, get him.
Well, it's like Hargrave and Wilson we mentioned before. Like they're here. You just need to get them, if not stash them, and then they do good again, and then you feel more comfortable. Okay, maybe I'll play them. Like I don't know. I feel like they're pretty good. I don't know. Like I'm just saying. But I mean, overall, you make the ultimate decision. I mean, it's not like you're gonna pick up this guy. I mean, he's probably drafted an overall number 1. So Myles Garrett, there you go. I'm just gonna throw that up there real quick because why? He is our number 1 guy this week. Damn, I really should have done this with Roquan last week and Edwards out of Tampa Bay, but I didn't.
Pick up the Lions defenders. No, just kidding.
No, I don't know about that.
No?
Maybe linebackers. I don't know. DJ Vic. What's up, guys? Traded A-Rob for AJ Brown. Okay. For full PPR, I'm 3-0. I like AJ, better rest of seasons. Hopefully it gets healthy soon. I like that too. I mean, if you're 3-0 without him, I don't think A-Rob has really done anything crazy extravagant, and neither has AJ Brown.
AJ Brown can get rid of his case of the dropsies.
Well, yeah, which I'm sure, like, we've seen him play. He's just in this weird I don't know what he's going through, but he'll get out.
Is he too starstruck playing with Julio?
I don't think so.
Is he too nervous? Is that what it is? It's his idol, so just saying.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that I like that move. I really do. He must
I like that move too.
He must have traded it to a Bears fan or something because after the performance we saw last week, this is what's going to happen. I think Nagy's going to be gone if they keep this up. Then it's going to be a new coach, a new system, and we've seen new teams come in with new systems that they struggle a little bit. Sometimes they get lucky because, well, it's a new system. They're all having fun. They're not stressed out of what they should be do because the new guy come in and like last season, I think Detroit had this similar situation. New guy came in and they were having fun. You know, I remember them saying that this is actually playing football again because they weren't as stressed out anymore because they didn't have like some person or the coach at the time raining down their necks. It was someone else. So I do like that trade though for sure. I mean, if it was 1-for-1 straight up, 3-0, yeah, why not? Rest of season, hell yeah, I like that for sure. But definitely. I think that the Tennessee Titans will produce offensively, which is a good thing because if their defense doesn't do anything, that only means that their offense are going to be out there more. So it's not like, you're in a bad situation with the AJ Brown. So
yeah,
and same with A-Rob. But
I just want to know what the guy who agreed to that trade was thinking. Like, what does he know that we don't? Like, why would you agree for A-Rob when he hasn't done anything?
Again, this could be Dynasty, and maybe
true.
Maybe he's higher on A-Rob,
or maybe he's already 0-3, so he's like, well, I'll just get A-Rob because maybe next year he'll be somewhere else.
It could have been a pick. It could have been, but I mean, if it, like I said, it was traded 1-for-1 from what I'm seeing at full PPR, and again, like you said, once he handles his little issue there, then we'll definitely see AJ Brown do his thing. So one more thing, I will I guess I don't know, I'm not necessarily this episode, but we kind of have a somewhat sponsor. You get 50% off the Raise energy drink as I'm drinking here. So look it up. It's It's different, interesting. Voodoo is like that creamsicle. I like Voodoo. It's a creamsicle taste, and Apollo, which is interesting. Ray's has this drink called Apollo. It kind of reminds me of this mystery, that the Airhead mystery flavor.
Mm-hmm. The white one.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
I have to try that.
I'll see if I can get you a can. I mean, since you're here.
All right.
But yeah, no, not Raise Energy. Use the code 15% off if you like. But just throwing that out there real quick. But yeah, what we have tomorrow for in store, we are going to talk about a little bit about Jacksonville and a little about Bengals. I know it's not going to be. Yeah. For redrafters, it's not going to be exciting. I know, but this is Dynasty. So definitely we get a little bit more into it because what do we think about is the future. We think about the future. We think about what are we going to do with these players. Obviously, you're going to keep Jamar Chase. You're going to keep Joe Burrow. Keep all these young guys. I mean, you're not keeping Tyler Boyd after this season, are you? I think
no.
Yeah, I think he might be cuttable for the new rookie coming in or something like that. So, but yeah, that's what Dynasty is. So we'll talk about that. More Logan Wilson for sure.
More Logan Wilson,
yeah. So, hopefully that gives you a little insight on your waiver wire for week 4 coming in. I'm excited. I can't get enough football, dude. I put some money on the Packers. Boy, I was definitely nail biting for sure. And Arizona, we just got sportsbook, so I tried it out. I won some money. I'm up $160. Okay.
Was it just straight up going for the Packers to win, or would they have to cover?
Yeah. I wasn't trying anything crazy yet. I was like, I'll just throw a one bet on the Packers. I think everyone was like, oh yeah, the 49ers. But hey, that last moment throw to Adams helped out, and Crosby nailed it in. I was like, sweet. I went to bed happy. I won in that main league, or at least in the main league that I care about. So I went 2-2. Hopefully next week I go 3-1 because I need to get rid of this 2-2.
Oh, 160 points in Dynasty. That's pretty good.
Yeah, in our system, yeah. So for sure.
And almost half of that was one player, but
Well, I did have Myles Garrett with a combination of Josh Allen.
I had to play 2 people who had Josh Allen.
Well, the defensive Josh Allen, or what are you talking about? Or are you talking about our other leagues?
No, the offensive one. Yeah, so I had to play 2 because my mom in Justin's league has Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And then I had to face
but
Josh Allen.
You and I,
the family league too.
But you and I fade that league a little bit, so we just
but
it's still there. So.
It's weird. My 2-2-0 teams lost, and then my 2 1-1 teams won. So I'm 2-1 in every league. I was like, what the heck?
Man. That's funny. Now I can't break this 2-2 cycle. It depends on what two of my leagues lose. But dude, next week or next year, we should have done this. Hopefully, we do like an 18-man guillotine. And I'm busting out this new build the blocks league that's been in here. I want to bust that out.
Talk about it all the time. Seems interesting.
I should have done it, and but we didn't have enough viewers. I'm like, no one's gonna pay attention to us. Nobody watches. Whatever. But anyways, hopefully by next season we'll have a little bit more viewers, and then we could definitely get that league going. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, DJ Vic. That is a nice trade. I definitely agree with that. So yeah. Me too. Tomorrow, tune in for sure. We will definitely try and get a little bit more onto Logan Wilson's profile and see how they do and who's around him. Because again, as Mark said, he's not the only stud there, but in my eyes, I think he is. And the Nerd Huddle can't wait for it. I did tell Tank about it, so he kind of has an idea of it. And I want to do that building block league. Yeah, 10 boys, man, for sure. It's very interesting. I can't find it anywhere, so I'm pretty sure I made it up. I think, I don't know. I just can't find what I'm thinking of anywhere, and it's basically you it goes week by week. It's not a full roster. That's all I'm going to throw out there.
Takes comment.
Yeah, definitely gonna be fun. But I mean, we're in week 4, so that's not even worried. I'm gonna wait till the draft to get that started, especially the guillotine. I'm gonna do a guillotine slow draft. Once we get 18 players in there, we'll start that 24-hour slow draft as we get closer and closer to the season. But so it's gonna take some time. So in the meantime, my name is Martin. This is Mark. This is our IDP waiver wire show for week 4 coming up, and tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. And hopefully we get Fredo in watching wherever he's at. Anthony explained it to me. Oh yeah,
nice.
Okay, I did. Oh yeah, I did tell Anthony. So yeah, I want to definitely do that for sure. I'm gonna get that going. But it was too close. I think we were like 4 days out from the first game.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get enough people for it, so screw it. I'll just wait for next season. But he liked it. But again, I think I created it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept.
I don't want to take full credit, but I can't find it anywhere. So Alfredo's watching. He's just memeing. I don't know. We make these videos for him. Our one important viewer that never watches. Good night, Alfredo. Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever the hell you're at. Tune in tomorrow for Dynasty Pylon as we get into Thursday's game. Later.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.